Mainly in India, we look at berries. It's happening in Maharashtra and it's happening in some parts of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
But when you think of berries, people think of Ooty. What is special about Ooty?
Ooty, it's nothing but the climate. So we have a apt climate for strawberry growing all through the year.
आपके farm में आ रहा है. It's a ready to transplant plant.
Yes.
So can you take me through the different stages of the crop?
We'll start getting the fruits in 90 days. We'll start the harvesting after 90 days.
This continues for how long?
So next 1 year.
Another thing which I was reading about Ooty is that the pest population here is lower. Is that true?
No.
You don't use pesticides in your strawberry farm. Typically they say strawberry is a sweet fruit. Pests also love it. How are you able to do this?
When the temperature goes up, only the pests will attract. To keep the plants happy, or to avoid the pests, we have to control the ambient temperature here.
What is the operational cost for half an acre, sir?
Actually, this generally, we get the COP of 150 rupees. Yeah.
Grow it at 115 rupees, 50 rupees per kilo and sell it at roughly 300 rupees per kilo.
Yes.
That's still 100% margin.
Yes.
So 100...
But again, there is a lot of thing involved in this earlier, no? Like,
based on your experience, you've been done almost 10 years. Now through this channel, through online, a lot of people want to jump into it. What would your sort of advice to them be?
please do strawberries as your crop, but be very, very cautious. It's like a child.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, स्वागत है आप सभी का एक नए वीडियो में। आज हम ऊटी में हैं। ऊटी इज़ पॉपुलर फॉर बेरीज। सुरेश सर के साथ हैं। सुरेश सर runs a very beautiful farm here by the name Purple Patch Farms, जहाँ पे ये berries कर रहे हैं, leafy vegetables कर रहे हैं। So sir, firstly, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome and thank you for your time too.
And हिंदी इंग्लिश मिक्स करके हम करेंगे। So अगर आपको समझ नहीं आ रहा है, no problem, let me know in the comments. We'll remake the video for you in Hindi. So sir, what is your story? आपकी journey क्या है? How did you get into farming, agriculture? You're not from an agriculture background.
Actually, I'm not from agriculture background. Actually, after coming here in Purple Patch Farms, and like I learned from here because we conduct training programs and we give trainings in terms of growing and a lot of things. Everything I learned from here.
अच्छा।
Yes. So basically, I was in a different, coming from a different field. Now, farming is a new thing for me, but I'm still learning. Farming, nobody can say that, I learned everything. So it's a learning process.
Right.
Every day, you have to learn something new.
Right.
Yes.
So आपकी हिंदी कैसी है? हम लोग हिंदी में करें, इंग्लिश में करें, आप जैसे बोलेंगे।
Actually, I'm not very good in Hindi. So maybe I can talk a bit of Hindi and I can mix थोड़ा आता है।
ठीक है, great.
Yes.
So I'll also mix Hindi and English for that matter.
Yes.
Strawberry में आप आए day one से।
Yes.
What made you decide कि strawberry करना है? Why did you choose this particular crop?
So strawberry is one thing, like, how do I say? Like it's different from other crops. Like, and Ooty is a place where we can grow strawberries all through the years. Now our climate is suitable for that. And with the conditions of this polyhouses and all those kind of things, we can grow the strawberries all through the year without any damages. And also, like, it's a cash crop. So that's why we have decided to come for a strawberry.
And you're doing only strawberries ki blueberry?
No, we are doing blueberries, raspberries and strawberries as well. And we are also in future, we are having a different plan. And even blackberries also is coming up a little bit. So we are going to add some more berries. And this year we are planning to put white strawberries also. Okay. So we are improving. Every day we are changing the scenario and according to the requirement and market. We're just changing. So I think बहुत सारे लोगों का question होगा. A lot of people will have one question. Yeah. कि what makes Ooty so special for growing berries? Mainly in India, we look at berries. It's happening in Maharashtra. Yes. And it's happening in some parts of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. Yes. But when you think of berries, people think of Ooty. What is special about Ooty? Ooty is nothing but the climate. So we have an apt climate for strawberry growing all through the year. That is the main reason. Ooty, a lot of people now, this year, a lot of people are newly started growing strawberries from Ooty. And in future, we might, think of doing it as like, Ooty strawberries. Okay. Yeah, like, already we have our company, Purple Patch, we are branding ourselves and we are sending with a brand. So Purple Patch, if you name Purple Patch, people will say strawberries. So we have got a good name in the market. for the strawberries. And same way for the entire Ooty also, we're thinking of doing it as a Ooty strawberries or something in future.
Understood. So you said ki the climatic conditions here are suitable.
Yeah.
How do we define the right climatic conditions? Because now a lot of people in India, especially the youngsters, newer farmers, they want to get into agriculture and they're looking at berries as a good opportunity.
Yes.
So for strawberry, let's start off with strawberry.
Yeah.
What are the right growing conditions we're talking about?
Strawberry, actually, not only the temperature, and lux also is important.
Okay, the light.
Light also is important.
So temperature, light, humidity.
Yes, everything is important.
Can you define what's the right range?
So anything about 20, it's like, for strawberries, it needs two different this thing. So between 14 degrees and somewhere around 20, 25, 28.
That's the ideal range.
Yes.
And in terms of light also, is there a specific?
Light we need at least, minimum of some 20,000 lux.
Okay.
Yeah, it's required. So it should not be more than that also. So that's why Ooty is providing that.
Right amount of light and ideal temperature.
Yes,
temperature doesn't go too high.
Yes, and also like humidity also. For strawberry requires around some 60 to 80% is ideal.
All of those things are
available and combination is good here.
How long is the crop, sir? What is the crop cycle of strawberry?
Actually, we are keeping the plants for 1 year.
Okay.
Currently. And some people are keeping for more than that also, but it is not advisable because once the plants get 1 year is over, then it will start giving some issues and the production also will come down because the plant quality will suffer. So we would suggest it's 1 year is better.
Well, I was talking to growers in Maharashtra, sir. They said they take a 6-month crop.
Yeah.
So, like for example, if I think about capsicum, it's 9 months standard across any part of the India.
Yes.
So how is it different in different parts of India?
Yeah, that is in Maharashtra, why they are doing it only for 6 months, that is just because the climate and water issue. Like once the temperature it's like in April 15th also, Maharashtra will stop giving strawberry production. They start planting by October and the production will start somewhere end of December. Then they'll have some, actually speaking, the correct window is only 4 to 5 months for Maharashtra.
Okay.
The production, full-fledged production window. Here we are doing it almost 9 months because if you say that planting to harvesting, if you leave that alone, so we are doing almost 9 to 10 months production.
So typically, when do you transplant it? So I know for a fact, what I've understood on the nursery side, it takes about 100-105 days to prepare the young plant.
Yes, you're right.
So now, आपके farm में आ रहा है, it's a ready to transplant plant.
Yes.
So can you take me through the different stages of the crop?
Yeah, actually after planting, the plant will start giving flowers after 45 days.
First flowering is after
45 days. Then we'll start removing the flowers.
Okay.
So because we'll do the debudding for the young plants. We don't want to, just to keep the plant health. And we will do the first debudding.
Debudding means you remove the flowers?
We remove the flowers in the young plants. Then we'll allow for the flowering. So after the first one. So we'll start getting the fruits in 90 days. We'll start the harvesting after 90 days.
So 90 days from transplanting or 90 days after flowering?
Yeah, 90 days from the transplanting.
Okay. So in 90 days you start getting the flowering. This continues for how long?
So next 1 year.
1 year continuously you get?
Yes, 1 year and since 9 months. 9 months.
9 months production continuously you get?
Continuously we are getting.
Understood. And so a lot of people, mostly traditionally what I've also heard is that strawberry grows better in open fields. Strawberry grows in greenhouses also, right?
Exactly.
So what's the difference between the two? You're going inside a greenhouse under full protected structure.
Yes. Actually, all over the world, mostly 90% of the strawberries are grown in open field only.
Right.
Those are very huge in size. Acres, minimum 100 acres, 50 acres, something like that. So people like in Ooty, and we have a different kind of climate to protect the plant and the yield from any natural disaster like frost and even rain. And during the rainy season, we get a lot of diseases and we can protect the plant from all of them. So we can give an ambient temperature, ambient atmosphere for the plant to grow well and give us a good yield.
Understood. So basically, you're able to control a lot of the growing conditions.
Yes.
Now, this is how big? So this area.
This is 50 cents, 2,000 square meter,
So in half an acre.
half an acre.
1 acre, how many plants do we usually put, sir?
Actually, in the soil, they'll put around 20,000 plants
In soil.
in soil. Generally, that is what is people are doing, practicing. Here, we have around 16,000 plants in this 50
In half an acre.
half an acre. That is one advantage here. Again, the number goes up. So again, we are not depending on the soil actually for the growing
Right.
media. We are using cocoa pit and it's totally hydroponics, and all our nutrients are given through a drip line.
Drip irrigation.
So that is again another advantage. Sure. So numbers will go up. The production will go up.
So why is it that you chose soilless? Is the soil not good here or just?
No, soil, we cannot repeat the same plants. Like, suppose this year I'm growing strawberry. Next year also I can continue to grow the strawberries in the same area. Where I'm changing only the cocoa pit and the same area I can use. But the soil, if you keep repeating this thing, there are a lot of diseases and things will
Nutrient
come.
also.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is half acre.
This we can control actually.
Yeah.
So whatever you want to decide, you can decide what you want to give it to your plant.
Understood. So if one crop is over, and then immediately you can take new.
Yes, we'll do this thing.
What is the substrate in this cocoa peat?
Cocoa pit.
So after one crop is done, do I have to change the cocoa peat?
Yes, that will be better.
Every crop?
Yes, that will be better.
Just a top up or the entire cocoa peat?
No, people are doing the top up also, but it's good to have an entire cocoa pit change. That will be better.
Understood.
And also if you add cocoa chips to it, that will give more aeration and good drain. And strawberry needs a lot of good drain also.
Good?
Drainage.
Understood. So you have to add cocoa peat, cocoa chips for proper aeration.
Yes.
And for drip, all the nutrition is given to the crop.
Yes.
Now you said in half an acre in soil, you're putting 20,000 plants. Am I right? On 1 acre.
No, 1 acre, 20,000 plants in the open field they are doing.
And here half an acre
Yeah,
itself.
half an acre we have did almost 16,000.
So 1 acre roughly 30,000 plants.
Yes.
At least.
Sure.
Wow. So doesn't that make, what is the plant to plant distance here?
Here we are keeping around 22 centimeters. But generally soil people will do around 30 centimeter.
Okay. And
distance.
Why is that? Is that you're keeping it closer?
No, here one thing is that, the cost of COP, we have to bring it down.
Cost of production.
Yes. And actually, this is actually, we can control everything, right? So even with any pest and diseases won't affect the plants, not much compared with open crop.
Understood.
So that is why we are increasing the number with a little more care is required when you decrease the distance.
Right.
That is also required.
So one very interesting thing over here is like you're using a soilless trough.
Yes.
And above that you're also using a mulching.
Yes.
I have not seen that before. Like
Actually, the advantage of using this mulch, so to control the weeds,
even in
also it'll retain the water, the moisture, no? Moisture.
Even in the trough.
Also. Yeah. Even evaporation will be reduced, no?
Understood. And so another thing which I was reading about Ooty is that the pest population here is lower. Is that true?
No, pest is there. We have mites.
Mites, thrips.
Yeah, we have. During the summer, no? Once the summer hits, then we'll get a lot of this thing also. But it's compared with other places, it's slightly okay.
Slightly okay.
Yeah.
So another crucial information which a lot of growers should know is that how the crop varies stage-wise. So we're taking 105 days for the nursery, then we're transplanting it. Across each stage, the nutrition, the management will vary a little bit.
Yes.
Can you take us through that in brief?
Yeah, first actually 45 days, as I told you, it's a vegetative stage. There we have a different kind of fertigation. And after 45 days, once the flowering is allowed, then we have a different fertigation. So that technically you should know, because first initially for the growth, vegetative, we need a lot of things like, nitrogen and calcium. So then we will change into fruiting this thing. Fruiting is basically required a lot of potassium and other kind of thing. Yeah.
Understood. And basically for flowering stage is how long again? How many days?
45 days. 45 days. First we'll do the debudding, I told you. So same thing, like, after first debudding, we'll change into a fruiting mixture.
So these flowers which I see, the fruit has not yet come.
Yes, it just started flowering. You can see the size of the flower.
Yeah.
So which will produce a very big fruit.
The strawberry comes from
Yes,
here.
yes.
And once the strawberry is harvested, this is done.
Yes. The
doesn't
next
give
flush will come. Yeah, next flush will come.
So how many flushes like this can come in strawberry?
So actually, generally, depending on the plant health again, and plant health and variety, and the size also varies depending on the plant health and again the variety, and again your maintenance, how you are maintaining it, how you the upkeep also is very, very important. So based on that, you'll get the size. And each plant, the first generation will get about 10 to 15 flowers, and each plant.
So this is one plant.
Yeah, this is one of the smallest because now most of them got harvested.
No
The
problem.
first generation is almost over now.
Yes.
So still you can see a lot of flowers and fruits. Some of them are like.
So I want you to explain to me and to any beginner.
Yeah.
So this is a stage of a crop where the flower comes.
Yeah.
Then a beautiful strawberry will come out of it.
Yes.
Then you will harvest the strawberry.
Yes.
And then after some time, this flower will give me another strawberry.
Not the same flower.
Yeah.
So this will be getting cut, no?
This will get cut fully.
Yeah, this will get cut. Like this. See, after harvesting, only the stem will be there.
So that one is done.
Stem done. It's done.
Never
Stem will
give
get
up
dried,
again.
then it will never give up. It's a new flowers will come from here.
Right.
New flowers will come from.
And what is the harvest practice? How often do you harvest?
Now we generally do alternative days.
So you can keep harvesting continuously.
Yes.
Okay. So this flower is
And
done.
again, depending on the climate and a lot of other aspects also, like it will not give the same as the first flush.
Understood. How
Yes.
many flushes are there in strawberry?
We get about minimum 3
Three
to 4.
flushes.
Yeah.
Understood. So basically, in simple term, again, I'm simplifying it, sir. All the fruits don't come together in the same plant also.
Yes.
So once the first flesh comes,
Yes.
then some second flesh comes,
Yes.
then third flesh comes.
Exactly. Yes.
Understood. And that together gives 1.5 kilos
Yes.
per plant.
Yeah. Total. And you have seen the fruit size, and you have tasted it also.
Yes, so the taste is amazing. I must vouch for this. If you want strawberries, buy it from Purple Patch Farms. This centimeter is 15. This is the
22 centimeter. Yeah, 22
plant to
centimeter.
plant.
Yeah, plant to plant.
And diagonal?
this also is the same. Yeah,
okay, both
almost.
are 22.
Yes.
This is 22 centimeter. This is 22 centimeter.
Yeah.
And mulching is being put over the soilless trough
Yes.
to prevent the weed growth.
Yes, weed growth and also to prevent this evaporation.
Perfect. Okay, let's move ahead. So another interesting चीज जो आप बोल रहे थे, we were discussing outside,
Yeah.
is you don't use pesticides in your strawberry farm, which is what a lot of people don't understand, because typically they say strawberry is a sweet fruit.
Yes.
Pests also love it. How are you able to do this?
Actually, to control when the temperature goes up, only the pests will attract. So for that, to keep the plants happy and to avoid the pests, we have to control the ambient temperature here. So that's why we are using the shade nets. When the temperature goes up to a huge level, we immediately close the shade nets. So that so you can see now the shade nets are closed. And again, we use foggers
Okay.
to keep the humidity also, to keep the plants and also to avoid the pests. So and also sometimes we use neem oil to control the thing.
As a preventive spray.
Yes.
Understood. And so typically in 1 acre, if I have to do strawberry,
Yeah.
what are the other growing practices? How much labor do I need? We'll discuss that. Then we'll probably discuss a little bit more about the economics, costings which come in for strawberry particularly.
Yeah.
So let's start with the labor requirement and farm practices.
Yeah. Per acre for the maintenance, no?
Yeah.
For the maintenance, we need around 10 to 15 people.
Per acre?
Per acre.
Wow. That's very hard.
Yeah, actually, it's since we are doing in many of the crops, we are mixing the labors. Strawberry sometimes requires a lot of manpower. Sometimes it's not. See, for example, once the leaf cleaning has to be done, so I'll have to allow some 7-8 people here. And even for the harvesting, I have to allow 7-8 people. It is not that they'll have the work throughout the day.
Okay.
So at least certain hour. So and also for example, see our harvesting starts at 4 o'clock in the morning.
In the morning?
Yes.
Why do you harvest so early, sir?
So we harvest at 4 o'clock to bring the cold fruit, to bring down the cold field heat. So
Right.
that our keeping quality also will be nice.
So people who are watching this, you have to say basically harvest when the temperature is lowest,
Yes,
not when
it's hot.
before the sunrise. Ideally.
Yes, yes.
Great. So 7 to 8 laborers on rotation.
Yeah.
And sir, which variety is being grown here?
Here we are growing variety Sweet Sensation. It's one of the best variety supplied by Emco Call. And it's doing very good actually. We have done some trial runs earlier last year. So we felt this variety is good. So now 2 of our polyhouses is full of Sweet Sensation.
Understood. So this is half an acre. You said 16,000 plants.
Yes.
What is the production per plant you get over here?
So we should get around 1 kg per plant.
Okay.
That is the scenario. And we are aiming more this year.
So about
So keeping our plant
16,000 kilos, 16 tons.
Yeah. From this polyhouse, yeah.
From half an acre,
yes,
16 tons.
Yes. That is possible.
And what's the average selling rate that typically goes for strawberries, sir?
Now, strawberry rates always fluctuates like any other product in the market. So on an average, we get about 300 rupees.
300 rupees is the average selling rate?
Yes.
Okay.
All through the year. Sometimes we get more, sometimes we get less. Average, I'm saying.
Okay. And what I also want to probably will go there later and also discuss, but briefly, can you talk more about where you sell? Because what I've understood is it's not entirely a mandi crop where you don't send in the vegetable markets.
Yes.
If someone's getting into growing strawberries, where should they sell their produce?
No, here all our crops are going to hypermarkets, supermarkets. And
Like, sir? Can you give some examples?
customer example?
No, just for example, like a big bazaar, something like that.
Yeah, like same like we are not supplying to Big Bazaar. Big Bazaar himself, they are actually they are also collecting fruits from various people and selling it in the market. So we are actually supplying direct to the
Customer.
customer, not customer, like to the shops.
Okay. Understood.
Directly to the shops.
And-
And also like we are doing a lot of B2C also.
Directly to the customer.
Yeah, directly to the customer.
How do you do that? It's a little bit. Can you?
We have a logistics of our own setup. We have cold chain vehicles. So we are supplying through that to various locations like Coimbatore, Bangalore, and Chennai, and all over the Kerala.
And you
Like
supply that in the
Kottayam,
cold
Cochin
vehicles.
and all. Yeah, we are supplying through our cold chain vehicle to the destination, and in that particular destination, we have our people to handle it. They give home delivery.
Understood, sir. So can we briefly also talk about economics of strawberry as a crop? Because most people will be excited to get in only when they see potential for money. So you said average selling rate is 300 rupees.
Yes.
If I were to do 300 into 16,000, that comes up to what, roughly 48 lakhs if I'm not wrong? 48 lakhs from half an acre, you're saying.
Yeah.
So 48 lakh rupees from half an acre.
Yeah, we have expense also, no? Like this-
revenue.
Yeah, you're talking only about the revenue.
Revenue, yes.
We have expense.
Can you touch base? What's the
Yeah,
expense?
like suppose in this particular area, half an acre, I need to use around close to some 20 tons of cocoa pit.
20 tons.
20 tons. Now my current cocoa pit price is about 35 rupees. And even cocoa chips is more than 40 rupees a kg.
Okay, how much cocoa chip do you use?
Let's say 30%.
30%.
30% of the same.
30% of 20 tons.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is also involve a lot of money. And again, the plant cost and maintenance, fertigation, labor, all put together.
So what is the operational cost for half an acre, sir?
Operational cost. Actually, this generally, we get the COP of 150 rupees
Per kilo.
per kilo.
So you're able to sell it at 150 rupees per kilo,
Yeah.
grow it at 115 rupees, 50 rupees per kilo, and sell it at roughly 300 rupees per kilo.
Yes.
That's still 100% margin.
Yes.
So 100.
But again, there is a lot of thing involved in this earlier, no? Like our inventories.
So 150 rupees per kilo, and roughly production you said was 16,000.
Yeah, 16,000.
So 150 into 16,000 will be your growing cost, 24 lakh rupees. So you're able to make 48 lakh rupees, but the investment and operational cost is also high. So my net profit for
See, the laterals and all that what we are using here is actually per meter is close to 32 rupees.
32 rupees.
32 rupees per meter.
Okay. So for net, can I earn roughly 20 lakh rupees for half an acre?
Slightly lesser than that.
10 to 15 lakhs.
Yes.
10 to 15
If
lakhs.
you manage it well.
And if you're selling at a good rate.
Yeah, if you're selling at a good rate and if you have good marketing strength.
Right. So before we move to the next crop, I want to kind of close this crop on a
Yeah.
Based on your experience, you've been done almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Now, through this channel, through online, a lot of people want to jump into it. What would your sort of advice to them be?
So this one actually, please do strawberries as your crop, but be very, very cautious. It's like a child. You have to take care. It's not like, any other crop which you can grow it easily. You'll have to be a little more cautious, and you need a lot of technical knowledge. You have to see a lot of things, like, you'll have to check your EC, pH. You'll have to maintain a lot of things here. And I would say, like, use the maximum technical knowledge and growing pattern and selection of the good variety is very, very important in strawberry.
So a little bit before we wrap, that you said it's very important to maintain the right EC, pH. For strawberry, what is the right EC, pH we maintain?
So here we are giving around 1.6 EC.
EC.
Yeah.
And pH?
pH around 5.5.
5.5. And the drip also, sir, like lateral drip, what is the LPH typically we advise?
This is what we are using is 15 centimeter here.
Okay.
People generally all over the world, mainly a lot of people use only 30 centimeter distance. We keep our distance as 15 centimeter. And also, like, we are using as 600 milliliter per hour.
Understood.
That drip.
So if I want to start strawberry, sir, would you recommend I start through open field farming? Will I learn the same about the crop?
Open land is entirely different, and protected is totally different.
Okay.
So
So
open land, in the first crop, you'll get a good yield. The soil itself will take care of a lot of things. But here, it's not like. From first to last, everything is the same.
Understood.
Yes.
Understood. So guys, this is what we saw inside the strawberries. If you put it on the weighing scale, sir, almost 75 grams per strawberry. So I think two things which I want to understand here is you're doing this beautiful packaging and also the sorting and grading process.
Yes.
Everything is not the same. Every output is not the same.
Yes.
Can you explain how you sort and grade? And even this packaging process, the costing, why is it important? Who requires it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Strawberry, we are having a three different grades.
Okay.
So if you see our premium fruits, which is weighing around more than 60 grams, 50 grams. And we have A grades and we have B grades also, which is slightly smaller in size. So we categorize according to the sizes and the quality. So while plucking itself, we used to pluck it with a punnet, directly into punnet, so that we can reduce the touching. Like, every time when you touch, the shelf life of the strawberry comes down. So we avoid more number of touching. So whatever the grading and whatever the sorting, everything is done in the polyus itself, maximum. So maximum, like suppose after doing all that, we will do the QC check. That time, in case if they found any bad fruit or overripe fruit, then they will remove and they replace it. See, you can see our dry patch. This is another important thing which we are using. It's very unique.
A dry pad.
Dry pad, yeah. So this will, what happens is, like, suppose if the fruit is ripe and if started this thing, watering. So this pad will absorb the moisture, water into it. So that will also again help us to keep the strawberries shelf life.
Understood. And so what is how many grams is this one?
This is 200 grams per net.
And this go retails at what price?
So A grade generally goes at 100 rupees.
100 rupees for
Per net, yeah.
Understood. And so typically, if you can just give some idea, if someone wants to sell like this to customers, you're selling directly to customers.
Yeah, we are doing B2C, as I told you.
Right.
So we are selling at the B2C and B2B also. We have two different segments. And we are transporting from here to various places like, Kochi, Calicut, Kottayam, and Coimbatore, and Bangalore also.
Right.
And you can download our app, in fact, from Google.
Okay.
Play Store, you can download Purple Patch app and you can start ordering our stuff online.
Understood. And these people really want this packaging? Like for them, packaging is important?
For the customers?
Yes.
No, strawberry standard packing. No, so strawberry we cannot sell it as a loose like any other fruit. Strawberry needs a protection because it's a very soft fruit. Understood. It needs a protection, so that's why we are using it.
What is the costing for building such a packaging? If you can explain in terms of numbers or per kilogram, so people who maybe want to start something like this, they can get a rough idea.
About what? Like
The cost
punnet.
of
the cost
packaging,
of the punnet, cost of the punnet.
branding, stickers.
So this our sticker will be costing around 1 rupee. And this box will be costing around 4 rupee 50 paisa, depending on the brand and the quality and the number of varies depending on the GSM and all that. So with this dry patch will cost us around some 3 to 4 rupees.
Then you have to send it in the cartons also.
Yes, we are using a beautiful cotton to pack this.
That's how much, sir?
The cotton depends, like, smaller boxes are costing us around 20-25 rupees and bigger one will be 30. And we have different kind of boxes according to depending on the size. We are using the boxes right from the 25 rupees to 60 rupees.
Okay, depending on the size.
Yeah.
Understood. Another very crucial thing is the hygiene parameters which you maintain here.
Yes.
So you have to ensure the gloves are on, proper packaging is done. Like sir mentioned, it's being harvested straight from the farm to the pinnet. Right?
Yes.
Perfect, sir. Alright guys, we're inside a new poly house. Again here, soilless media with coco peat, leafy greens are happening. Typically we see leafy greens happen through NFT. A lot of the growers do it in open field, very common. But here, sir, can you explain how you're doing it using coco peat, how many varieties you're doing? We'll start one by one.
Yeah. Here we are having around more than 20 varieties and coco peat as a media of growing. Like we are same, like, only the difference between that strawberry and here, we don't use mulch sheet. Only because these are all short crops. So we keep them for 45 days and maximum 60 days, 90 days. So here you see this, we have a different kind of parsley here.
This first one is parsley.
Parsley. So we have a flat parsley and we have this one curly parsley.
Okay. What's the difference between the two?
So the texture itself is different and a little bit of flavor difference also is there.
Understood. All right. So many different varieties you're growing.
Yeah. And celeries we have. You can see celeries are coming up. And
this one is celery.
Celery. This one, that one is celery.
So on what basis do we decide so many varieties you're growing? Do you have a demand from the buyer?
Yes. Because we have a different market, right? So the existing market requires all of them.
Right.
And this is Romaine lettuce.
Romaine lettuce.
Yes.
We'll just wait here, sir. This one. And what about this one?
This is celery.
This is also celery.
Yeah.
Understood. And so typically biggest challenge people face growing them in greenhouse is that a lot of the open field growers also grow this.
Yeah.
So when you're selling it, they compare this to that and you don't often get the rate. So are you able to make good money off leafy vegetables in polyhouse?
Yeah, of course. Like, average price will be the same almost end of the day. But the people will get a quality stuff here compared with the open farms. Open farms generally, they get a lot of this thing and they do a lot of pesticides and sprays and things like that. Here we don't spray anything. It's all our greens are fully pesticide free and we are giving with the sticker, pesticide free sticker. We are giving a guarantee.
Understood. But if the average rate is the same, then how are you able to recover the investment?
No, actually we are tapping into the different market because we are supplying to the direct end users and we are getting a B2C also. B2C customers generally, they don't look for the prices generally. They look for the good quality product with a safe product only they'll use. So our product is 100% safe.
Which one is this again, sir? Remind me.
This is romaine lettuce.
So what is the average selling price of a romaine lettuce, for example?
Romaine lettuce average will be around somewhere 100 rupees.
Per kilogram?
90 to 100 rupees, yeah.
Understood. And similarly for parsley and other crops?
Yeah, parsley also almost around 150.
Which is the most premium leafy green?
Leafy green. If you see, like sometimes the varies, like prices are always varies. So there are days when the green lettuce prices have gone to 300 rupees plus. And sometimes it comes down to 20 rupees also.
Understood. So there's a huge...
So we cannot say which is superior and all that. So if you see the celeries are always, will have the standard market.
What is the price range for that?
The celery will have about 100 rupees average almost all the time, between 90 and 100. All other leafies, they'll keep changing a lot. But celeries also will change, not much as like others.
And this one is which one, sir?
This one also romaine.
Romaine, that's a different stage.
Yeah, that's a different stage of the romaine.
Okay, and this one is the?
This one is a butterhead lettuce.
Butterhead. So I have one question, like 2-3 things.
Yes, please. This is chives.
Chives, right. So within the same poly house, how are you able to grow so many different varieties? Because typically each crop has its own growing condition, even within leafy vegetables. That's point number one. And point number two is, how do you plan? Let's say I have 1 acre poly house and I want to grow leafy vegetables. How could I plan my number of plants, area?
Yeah, initially it is little difficult since we have gained so much knowledge in course of time. Like for the last 10, 12 years, we have gained a lot of knowledge from the market. What market requires we should produce. Not that, what we produce should decide in the market. So based on that, we have decided the number of troughs. We are allocating the number of troughs. We are deciding on the number of plants also.
Understood. What is the most demanded in the market leafy vegetable according to you?
Yeah, green lettuce.
Green lettuce.
Yes, the numbers are huge.
Understood. And typically, like, what's the volume of production of leafy vegetables? How many plants are there? I know these are very different varieties, but do you have some specific numbers for someone who wants to understand more about leafy vegetables?
No, again, see, every season the demand changes the customers. Like sometimes, some festival season or for some holiday season, the demand goes down. Like generally people who travel during the holidays. So those days, we'll be having a less number of orders and our quantity is also will decrease. And same thing, like, festival season, many people, some festivals, they prefer only non-veg. Like, for example, we are supplying it to entire Kerala and all those things. Where we have a lot of, Muslim crowds during the Ramadan season, their orders will come down. So they fast, So those kind of thing. Like.
And what is this, I know leafy vegetables are short duration crops. Like strawberry we saw was almost a 6 to 9 month crop.
Yes.
These are much shorter crops. Can you explain, like, this one example? Which one is this, sir, again?
This is green lettuce.
This is the standard green lettuce.
Yes.
Okay.
Curly green.
So let's start from the basics. Which is the variety? How do I transplant it? Do I put the seed directly? How long does it take to get my harvest? After the harvest, what do I do? Can you explain that?
Actually, this we are getting the seeds.
Seed?
Yeah.
Which company, sir?
No, we are using Rizwan.
Rizwan Leafy Green, okay.
Yeah, Rizwan seeds we are using. And we will put it in our nursery, with the nursery trays. So there it will be around 15 to 20 days.
You do that on your own?
Yes.
Okay, so step one is putting the seed in the nursery. That takes about 15 to 20 days for green lettuce.
Yes. So then we'll transplant it here.
After 20 days?
Yeah, after 20 days. Then here about 45 to 50 days.
So after 50 days?
For 45 days.
This is ready?
Yeah.
This is 45?
This is ready, almost it's ready for the harvest.
So then how do I remove it? Then I remove
we'll cut it actually initially. Then we'll remove the roots.
So after that, it's a new transplantation?
Yeah, we'll change the thing, new planting.
Okay, so you have to plan it in such a way that everything doesn't get transplanted at once.
Yes.
So one plant will be at 30-45 days.
Yes, exactly. That is why you can see here a lot of uneven growth. That is why. So some of them are new. So today if I'm harvesting this, tomorrow it will get replaced with a new plant.
Understood. And which one is this, sir? This variety?
This is Arugula, rocket lettuce. They call
Arugula?
it. Yeah, Arugula.
Okay, and similar crop cycles?
Yeah, this is actually within a month we can start harvesting.
Within a month?
Within a month.
Understood. So with leafy greens, what are the biggest challenges you face, like in terms of growing? Are there a lot of pest attacks?
Yeah, of course we have some pest attacks also, but we are still managing without doing any sprays.
How are you doing that, sir?
Now, just using, if at all required, we use only neem oil as this thing.
Majorly?
This thing, and we don't use any chemicals here.
Understood. So other than pest, any other challenges in terms of growing?
Yeah, of course, in between we'll have some, during the summer season, the water, this thing, and we need to increase the cycle. And we have to keep monitoring here also. It's not that, in agriculture, every aspect you have to keep watching. So we'll have to increase the number of cycles of fertigation and all that. That is nothing much here, because not very as much as challenges as we face in strawberry.
So, and this fertigation lines, every crop is a different variety.
Yeah.
So, is the fertigation for each crop different?
No.
Standard fertigation?
It's standard fertigation.
How are you able to manage so many different varieties then?
Actually, these are all generally requires only X number of amount. Some crops requires more. So if at all it's required more, particularly we have a different valves. So based on the valve also we have planted here. So for that particular valve, we'll increase the timing. so that will get extra fertigation.
Understood. But the nutrients are roughly the same.
Yeah, nutrients mixtures are the same because we have standard tanks. So the times will increase, time will decrease depending on the requirement of the plant.
So standard tanks are there for fertigation.
Yes.
You have separate valves, and through the
Yes.
valves the drip lines are connected.
Yes.
Based on the crop, you can increase it or decrease it.
Yes, and we are using Netajet, for the fertigation. So everything is controlled by the valve.
Understood. Understood. Sir, how big is this poly house right now here?
And this is about 1,000 square meter.
1,000 square meters.
Yeah.
And within 1,000 square meters, how many plants do we have right now, approximately?
Approximately here we are having around 10,000 plants.
10,000 plants.
Yeah.
Right. So, and obviously a common question everyone will want to know, that getting into leafy greens, what are the kind of returns I can expect? We'll get into that, but also who are you selling to? Who are these buyers? Like I mentioned, you're not selling to the mandi. So it's a similar supermarket itself?
Yes. Along with the strawberries it goes.
Oh, same market.
Like it's a mixed this thing, because people who are buying strawberries, they'll buy this also.
Understood.
So that's why we could able to supply the whole lot, because the customer requires various kind of requirement. So we could able to fulfill the entire requirement of them. So that is how it is, and also as you said, the return of investment.
Costing, what is the costing?
Actually, this doesn't require a very big fancy this thing like polyhouses. Even the tunnels will do.
Simple tunnels?
Yeah, simple tunnels will do.
There's no problem with ventilation here, sir?
Not much, because all side curtains are always, all the time, we are having only a shade nets. So aeration is not a problem, big deal here.
Okay, and what is the cost of, let's say, standard lettuce I take? Cost of one seed, typically how much is it?
Oh, that's a very difficult question, because since we are using a Rizwan seeds, I would say approximately around more than a rupee.
More than a rupee?
Yeah, more than a rupee per seed.
And what kind of returns are you seeing, sir? What kind of returns can one expect through such farming?
Around 20 to 30% easily.
20 to 30% off?
20 to 30% of the investment. We get easily.
Per year?
Yeah, immediate also. Like for the 1 rupee is a seed cost. Apart from that, we are using cocoa pit and various kind of thing, like taking care of this thing, and we have a labor also. Again, transplanting labor and taking care, and again fertigation, all put together. So at the end of the day, we'll get about 20 to 30%.
So roughly, if I'm investing 50 lakh rupees in a poly house, so you're saying per year I can earn 10 lakh rupees?
Yeah, easily.
Easily. So almost 5 years it'll take me for my money to come back. Perfect. Okay, sir. Thank you. We'll move ahead.
Thank you so much.
Yes. See you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.